here in Denmark after the ETC with Søren, who's one of the ETC players from Denmark.
Yeah.
Søren, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Søren, and I'm from Denmark, and I play Orcs and Goblins. And that's pretty much my own, the only focusing army I'm playing. Because I'm new at ETC, so I had to focus on one army to get good.
Yeah. I think that's normal. I think a lot of players do that.
Yeah, that's a lot of... I was pretty nervous because it's my first time, and being a new player at a higher level, you get kind of nervous because you don't really know how good you are in comparison to the people you're going to meet, because I've never traveled and played other countries. So I was pretty nervous, so I trained like hell for a lot of evenings.
Yeah.
Because I was not sure that I was at the level the others expected me to be. Because, they noticed that I played good at some tournaments, but you can also have tournament where you are kind of submarining, being lucky, meeting the right opponents and stuff. So just because I had a good run before ETC, I was not sure that it would be the same at ETC, where the level would be very high and I could easily fall through if I was not prepared. So the uncertainty was kind of nerve-wracking.
Okay, but now the ETC is done, so how did you do then?
I think I did pretty well. I had a blast the entire tournament and it was fun. And I played well. There was not any problems, and I didn't had the feeling that I was underprepared or underskilled to play at the tournament. But still, there was a lot of things I didn't know about. Up until the ETC, everyone would tell me about all their baddest experiences to the ETC, people who were cheating or stalling, or some weird person who would confuse you with all kind of weird tricks outside the game, or use some weird things in the game to cheat you. But I did not experience any of those. I had only good games, even the ones I lost. Okay. So yeah.
So you scored to your what you expected?
I scored what I expected.
Or more.
I think I did a little bit better than I expected.
Okay.
But I kind of tried to set my expectations low, because I did not know what to expect, so I tried to keep them low. But I played on Universal Battle, because that was my way of trying to play against other people from other countries.
To training.
Yeah. And that way I could kind of measure myself against other people's, not only in my local environment, because you can easily get trapped by playing the same group of people who are playing the same armies and the same way. So when you need, like the first time you're experiencing someone who is chaffing, and you just don't know what that means. First game I played against you for many, many years ago, I played this high elf army with 5 units, and I thought it was an awesome army, and I could beat everything. And I meet you with some Skaven army with 100 units of 2 guys in each, and it was just like, can you do that? Yeah. Even in the first round, you were just all jolly and drinking beers. Like it's not even a problem. This. Yeah. So yeah, I was nervous about would I expect, would I meet this again? Would I be like, I'm gonna win this, and then I would meet some kind of army I did not know about. But yeah, I was well prepared.
So what did you think about the ETC experience? Now it was your first ETC, so
yeah. For me, it was a great experience. I've not been traveling that much outside of Denmark and the closest countries. The travel in itself was fun for me. The group of people I was with was awesome. Being some guys traveling together, training together, and having a purpose, going out and play. It was awesome. The ETC was well done. I think I enjoyed it, and I had no problems at the ETC.
So you had like a good team spirit on the Danish team.
I think we were a little uncertain of whether to try to get in top 10 or top 5, or we should just relax. We were a bunch of new guys on the team, so we didn't really have. We're not really. We hadn't really discussed if we were going to play the top tables, but it kind of just ended that way, and it was awesome. Had a blast. I really enjoyed playing the people I played. I was really nervous that I would play people who were, trying to confuse me or slow play me or switch a dice or something. I haven't tried that before, so I didn't know how to react on that.
No.
What will I do if someone is just like, well, you're getting 3 turns? And I didn't experience that, so it's not a problem. I think the nervousness about that was enough for me to be like, we gotta hurry up. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And it's definitely something I will do again, because if I can, it's not a certainty, but if I can get to ETC again, I will, because it's a really good tournament.
But I think it's normal to be like a little nervous. Even I was nervous even when I played like 10 ETCs.
Yeah,
still some nervous at least in the morning and start, and I think it's probably normal.
But it's kind of necessary, right? Because if you're not excited, if you're not nervous, what are you playing for? Mm-hmm. When you're playing a tournament, you gotta have some kind of nervousness, right? And I have this thing that I just love to play good people. So the nervousness doesn't trick me when I'm playing good people. I get very focused, and I really love meeting better players, because you're learning. And I really enjoy this kind of, after a game, you can think about what you did wrong and learn something about it. And I definitely did that in the ETC.
For me, this year was like a fun experience watching you.
Yeah.
Because I could see how much you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's like you play some game and the game were over in the singles.
Yeah.
And you just wanted to play more.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this guy's crazy. He just want to play. Yeah. But that's okay. That's really cool that you're on the team, because you really want this so much.
Yeah.
And when you were telling me about the game you had with Konrad, it's like, that's really fun.
Oh, that was such a good game.
Yeah.
He was such a fun opponent, because he just knows that this is his game. Mm-hmm. I had a red matchup, and I knew this was not going to go well. So I knew beforehand that he was very good, and he was very calculating. So he would think a lot longer than me, and I was like, the only way to play a guy who's better than me at chess is not to play chess. So as I already told my team that I know I'm probably getting 0 point in this game, so I will gamble, and I will do it at the high rolls. Mm-hmm. And I think he could feel that he knew that he could not try to trick me to roll high, because I will do that, because I can't lose any points. I have 0 points, and so
you have nothing to lose.
Yeah, so I kind of, I got kind of relaxed, because when you have no points and you're not expected to get any points, you can start to do all those things you shouldn't do. Mm-hmm. And it helped me a lot that I'm playing with some new guys at my own club. I had a young guy who I was training and playing against, and I would notice that he could not beat me in strategy, but when I kind of expected him not to charge on an 11 or something, he could win, because I was not expecting that. That didn't make any sense to do, so why would you do it? But when he did that, and that 1 on a 5 time that succeeded, it fucked me up. And I was like, I gotta play like a noob, but I gotta try to be tactical about it. Yeah. It was a really, really weird game, but I had such a blast.
Yeah.
I lost the game, but that's more fun. I got points.
Yeah, I've never seen a guy being so happy for losing a game.
I've never been so happy about winning 7 points in a game. It was, and he's good. He really knows what he's doing, and it is so fun. I really love playing that type of opponent. A really good opponent is just fun to play, because you really gotta think of everything, and you're always certain that you're going into some trap somewhere. So my trick was to try to get his beaver of change to charge 20 orcs, because I know that if you charge 20 orcs, you're not gonna win in that turn, but you're gonna win in the next, because he is stomping and hitting. And I was like, I just gotta get all my money on not rolling a 7-up, because I could just say, I will not use my general or my BSB, and just hoping they would run. And they did. But then he ran 12, just past everything that was looking at him. But yeah, I really enjoyed that game. He's a great opponent. Really, that was really fun. I enjoyed the game and all the others too. So yeah, I was really happy. I haven't got any bad games. I was a little bit sad about my last game where I failed a little bit. You know, when you are tired, that's one of the things I learned too. When you are with a bunch of guys in many days and you're playing a lot of Warhammer, I really played a lot of Warhammer.
Yeah,
I wanted to play the singles and I enjoyed playing the singles and I wanted to play every game I could. And I enjoyed it, but you get tired. I think I kind of underestimated how tired I would be. So the last game I was just not focused enough. My head was just too tired. I should have rested a little bit more in between and stuff. I learned a little bit about the after effect of keep on playing.
Yes, okay.
I'm very hungry about playing games, and it kind of kicked me a little bit in the last game. And he was a great opponent, of course.
So we had one year when, in Poland, where the week before the ETC there was a Polish team tournament. So the Danish team went down there and they played a weekend of a Polish tournament, and then in the week there was like another single tournament they played. I skipped that one. And then there was the ETC. So they had like 14 days of, or I don't know, 10 days or something. Of just Warhammer. And some of the guys after that was okay. I cannot handle it more now. So
what is it called? One of my teammates called it the Warhammer Blues. So when you played a tournament and there was a lot of adrenaline and a lot of intensity in this week. When you get home, you're kind of like, well, I don't really want to do anything now. And I had
you're still thinking about 9
Yeah, but I was like, well, I don't really want to play today because, well, I played all those games and now I kind of, playing again is kind of hard because now you played so competitive. Now you got to play a little more casual and relaxed. And I really enjoyed doing that in my local club. We have a lot of fun and playing a lot of weird armies and stuff. That's why I'm discovering weird armies, because I can play them there, and a lot of the stuff doesn't work, but sometimes you're like, well, this shouldn't work, but it keeps winning me games. It's a good way to discover new things, but you can't really do that in a competitive scene always.
How did you get into the hobby? And how long ago?
Or when I was in my, what is it called, preschool. I was about 10 or something. Preschool. It was cool. And I was about 10. One of my friends bought these Chaos Warriors, and it was like, oh, they can do all kind of fun. They're so cool, and you can play with them. I was like, whoa, I want to play that too. And so I had to choose an army, but my parents wouldn't wait for me in the stores. They're like, pick something. Oh, you won't get anything. So I played Undead.
Okay.
I got a box of skeletons, and that was what I played. And
I thought you were taking orc there.
It's the funny thing
because many kids.
But
orcs.
And it's funny because I choose those a lot later in the tournament. But I started there, and then we didn't play. We just painted very, very badly for many years. Didn't know anything about anything, and had a lot of ugly things, and I glued them together with a glue gun. Not a pretty sight, but it worked, and we had fun. Then many years later, one of my friends from back there looked me up and said, hey, I found this weird club in Skive and come play with us. It's totally cool game. And I was just hooked. Couldn't get my mind off it. And then we moved away from the town and I didn't play, lost it a little. And then 3 years ago, I picked it up again. Lived in Aarhus and, I was like, well, I need to do something in my spare time. And I'm just sitting at my computer and I really want to nerd something again. And I found my figures and found the club and got a lot of, got my ass whooped totally. I played some dwarves, old dwarf, and I really hate playing dwarves, so it was kind of not a good match. So I just decided that I wanted to play this game and I wanted to have fun, not to win, but I really wanted to. I didn't mind having a worse army than my opponent, so I picked orcs. After careful consideration, I found the army I thought was worst, and I played that one. And I thought it was fun. I got the hell beat out of me every tournament I played in the start, because orcs in 8th, if you don't want to play a few certain builds, it's not good. And I only had common orcs. So yeah, it's kind of locked, but it was fun, and I really enjoyed every time. And yeah, then 9th came around, and we fought hard to get that played in the club, and we did, and it succeeded. And in 9th, orcs are not that bad. They haven't got these you roll a 1, tough for you. Your army can't do anything. And now, I just stick with the orcs. I really like the army.
But you still think orcs are fun to play, a fun army?
Yeah.
Because you say some of the random stuff has gone, but that's also add some flavors and fun maybe.
Yeah, I actually play a little bit of 8th edition still. In my club, they play these escalation leagues, and I'm not good at preparing stuff. We just play 9th once a week, enjoy that, and then I play a little 8th. So I have both things to play and enjoy. And they're very different games, because 8th is not a fair game. No. It really isn't a fair game. It's a good fluff game. Mm-hmm. When I play it, the things I notice are different is the maps, rolling for which forest it is and what rivers and stuff. That makes 8th a living game. That in 8th, that's what I find cool looking into it. And that's the thing 9th doesn't have. The 9th age is a lot more fair, and I really enjoy building armies in 9th. And I really love building armies, so you can really feel that in 9th you can do a lot of different things, and you can play with the army, and Orcs and Goblins has a lot of options. Of course, every time you change an army book, new options will be best, but you can find other options and you can play them and work. It's like my 3 Goblin Kings, I play with full kitted equipment, and I played that to ETC too. And it works for me, and you can find that in a 9th age book. You can't really do that in 8th in the same way. So they're different games, but the fluff from the terrain I would put into 9th if I could. Okay. That's awesome. The rest I don't need. It's cool and it's fun, but I would much rather play 9th than 8th.
So you told a little about it now, but can you give me like 3 things you like about the 9th age and 3 things you don't like?
Let's start with the best things then, because I really like 9th age, so I'll just keep on rambling about that. The terrain for me actually is starting to turn a little bit. I noticed that they are trying to do different terrains have advantages and disadvantages depending on what kind of unit you are, and that's cool. I like that it's not just standard terrain, everything from cavalry. Now it's infantry in water, and I like the dynamic and the idea. I still like the 8th edition terrain a little bit more. It's of course a little bit more unfair sometimes, but some part of it is really funny. Trolling your opponent by standing on the skull temple and praying every turn and being lucky, and he just smiling at you when you roll that one and die.
I don't know what it does.
Oh yeah, of course. Now it's because I just played it.
I played a lot of 8th edition, but I never played this crazy terrain.
It's so stupid. But the idea is, if you have a hero, you can place him on the skull piece of terrain, which is a hill. Yeah. And every turn, one of your character of more, I think, can pray on this skull altar. You roll a dice. If you don't roll a 1, you get D3 on one of your stats. It's totally crazy, because if you get D3 more in strength, it's kind of badass. But if you roll a 1, the skull guards will eat your guy or something. And it is totally hilarious with goblins. It's super cool, but that one turn where you just can't stop yourself from rolling on your mate or something, and he's just gone.
I'm pretty sure that would not be
never, and I would not wish it. But it's very funny to troll your opponent with. Just looking them dead in the eye, and it's like, this orc boss is going to be so crazy next turn. And But I like the little more subtle things in the terrain too. I like that you can roll forest, and if it's a magic forest, you can cast spells on it. It moves, and there are a lot of good terrain, and there are a lot of bad terrain in 8. But there are a lot of good, and that's some of what I would put into 9th. Okay. Then one of my biggest headaches is the change in the rulebook. The army books I have not really a problem about, because it's natural to change things in each army and upgrade them. But the intervals were kind of a headache in some parts, where I tried to recruit older guys to play the game again, get them started, and then they would change everything and they would stop, and some of them would never have played it anyway. But it's hard, and rule books are just a pain to rewrite or to reread for us, because it can be one rule at some page, and sitting down and reading that entire book again is not my kind of tea. That's the rule book.
But that should hopefully stop soon.
Of course. And I have totally respect for that, because I see the improvement every time. But it's just a headache. So for me, I would just like the army books to change and be like, well, we got to work around this rule. And I see the problem in that, of course, but yeah, that annoys me a little bit, but not enough to quit or anything. But it's not that bad, but it's not good for the people who are playing less than me.
No. Well,
they're really getting screwed.
But there was known, because the same problem was with the 1.1 and before that, and that's why actually 1.0 is still official rules. That's there are some people can play that hasn't changed for some time, but all the people choose to play. I
haven't met a single guy playing the older version, because every tournament is in the new.
But the option for it is there.
It is,
and people have made that choice.
That is not impossible that would work in the future.
But I don't know. It was to give people a choice. Because we knew this problem would be there. And it is there. But hopefully it should be over soon. And we'll see. But
I understand because I see how the rules are better. They're really getting better, and I think they're good. And now let's go to the good points, because I really like 9th. I actually enjoy very much this change of pace and the change of an army book. I really enjoy building armies. So for me, it's just fun when new things happens, because I enjoy that part, and I really enjoy building armies. So that was one of my earlier points. Building an army in 9th Age is fun, because there's a lot of different builds. Look at undeads. I play those at a hobby level, just for fun in the club, but all the guys are like, well, I can just play all kind of weird vampire lists, and they're actually working. They don't suck. Not all of them are best, but they're good, and you can see that also. That is one of the best things in 9th Age. It's the complexity and the way that you can play an army in more than one way. Also, that's one of the things that puzzled me, that I heard people saying that was not the case. But for me, I see a lot of different ways to play the army.
Also, it sounds like, say, the good balance. Because
definitely.
You can play a lot of armies now. That's not like 3 or 4 armies. That's like the top tier armies.
Definitely. There are a few builds that annoys me, but that's builds, so that's not really, You see the demon build with the Weaver of Chains and his balls and stuff, and a cannon, and I don't really think it's because it is necessarily overpowered. It just hits exactly the way I play, very hard. So I can't really say that it's the build that is overpowered. It's just I hate that build because it's really good against me. So that's perhaps more for God damn it, not again. But I really like the difference in the game, and I kind of like I like the new magic and the way it plays out. I really didn't think I would do that, because I hate it. I love randomness and I love gambling, which is also one of my strengths and the way I play, that I love to gamble, and most people hate it when an opponent gambles because it's hard to control. But the magic in old ways was rolling, getting stuff, and I like that. And I was like, I don't want to pick the spells sometimes. It's going to be so the same army every time, but it's really not. They really made the spells worth picking other spells in different games, and different scenarios can have an impact also, and that's really good.
This was also what I heard at DTC when I talked to people.
And also one thing I noticed, which is the best thing about the spells, is that you now always know which turn it is. One of the problems we had earlier was you get so caught up in a game and rules and playing, you forget which turn it is. Like, you have a dice, but you forget to turn it. Now that you are taking a magic card every turn, you always know which turn it is. You always count them. There's no discussion. There's no, well, it's turn 5, no, it's 6. It's gone. And I don't think it was intended, but it works.
It's not.
So awesome. I've noticed that in so many of my games, we always know which turn it is. We had a lot of problems with that earlier. We always know. There's no problem, and that's so awesome. I know it's not intended, but damn, that's good.
Just
that's well played. Well played on the guy who invented the 8 cards. it's weird, but it really helps me a lot. That's kind of the hardest thing for me in games, that I got so caught up in them that I can kind of forget if it's turn 5 or 6 sometimes. Yeah, that's actually a weird thing, but I like it. It's really good. I like the community, and especially in Denmark. I get a little bit annoyed about the chat sometimes, when you're like, hey, this is pretty cool. I'm like, that's shit. When you're in the 9th Age forum, they can be a little bit toxic, but that's forums in the internet. You gotta stay positive and try to tell, but I'm not the best writer in English, so I kind of try to stay out of it, because I can't really defend myself very well again, because it would take me a half a day to write just a little bit of text. So, but I really like the way 9th Age has impacted the community, because there's pretty much only good games. The old stories about these horrible players who were angry and shouted and all this weird stuff I can remember from 8th, and it's pretty much gone. And haven't really been discussed anything, but I kind of noticed that I haven't had any bad plays, any bad games in any tournament I've been to the last year. We was in Poland, only good players, polite and fun, and I had a beer with some of my guys. What was it called? The Polish Open or something. I drank a beers with a couple of the guys afterwards, and we had a lot of fun. Only polite people, even when they beat me. Probably it was extra polite when they beat me, It's like, yeah.
But so, I played you a couple times, and you are a very polite guy. So I was walking around ETC this year, and I still see people getting angry.
Yeah.
So it's not gone. People are competitive. As long as it doesn't get too far.
I can get a little bit sour when I'm just rolling bad an entire game. Of course I can. I get frustrated.
But it's not an opponent's fault.
No, exactly.
I have the same, okay, whatever. Yeah. So, how did you get on the Danish team? And how do you pick the team?
In Denmark, we pick a captain for the team, and he picks some guys to help him choose the rest of the team. A guy or two.
And who picks the captain?
The community in Denmark get to vote on a captain. So if someone wants to be captain, he usually gets to be captain. But if there are more people vote about it. So we had a captain, and he chose the team. Actually, I was not. Last year, I didn't know that it was a possibility to be on the team. So it was kind of a coincidence that I was told, like, well, aren't you going to be on the team? Trying to be on the team. And I was like, well, that would be pretty fun to try. So it was more of a jest than I tried it. So I was pretty surprised when I got on the team. But yeah, the way I got on the team was playing weird orc armies. Because in 9th Age, there was this time where you played spiders a lot. 2 spiders was just the thing. And I was so tired of spiders that I had made a rule for myself that I could not play with any spiders. It was just not an option in my armies anymore. So every tournament I placed an army with no spiders. So I had to invent all kind of weird ways to play against other armies with spiders, because that would normally be my problem. So I had I think I had around 13 goblin chariots with lords and heroes and maxed out in chariots to get other army compilations up. And I think that kind of struck a nerve, that I could end in the top end of the tournaments and still not playing the normal best orc army. And that kind of, the thought process was that when the rule changes and weird things changes, it's good to have a player that can work around it, because I'm pretty used to work around not having what I want to including my army. And that getting it to work was kind of my way into ETC, and I tried to play that in my ETC army too. These 3 Goblin Kings I decided to try to play instead of many other builds with orcs and stuff, was my kind of way to play a little bit different. And I tried to play with 3 Kings, 2 on Gnashers and 1 on a Wolf, max kitted out with weapons to try to use them as my advantage. And I think it works pretty well, but it really took a lot of practicing to get it to be a really competitive army, because it's not that forgiving fucking up and losing a king or two, you're pretty much done. So you really have to be focused about some weird way to play. But that was my way into the ETC. Of course, you have to play well, but I also played weird armies, and that gave me my edge to get into the ETC team. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the process up to ETC where we trained and discussed armies. And of course, there were things that other guys did not want me to include in the army. And I respected that, but I got pretty much free hands to build my army the way I wanted. That was a really good process. And I really like the way the team is built, because doing it like having a captain, picking some guys, and the pick guys gives something in the team that it's a good team energy in our team last year. That was really fun, and I hope next year it will be the same. If I'm on the team or not, I think I will take the journey anyways and play the singles tournament and then just troll the other guys the rest of the days. But I hope to
be on the team.
Yeah. But I can respect that you can't always be on the team when you're a player like me, because I will play weird armies, and I can't really stop doing that. That's kind of my weakness, and I can respect a team saying we want more stable guys on our team.
Yeah, because this year on the Danish team, there was like we need to have new blood.
Yeah.
So it was like focus to get guys like you that haven't played DT before on the team.
Yeah.
But from what I have read, it seems there want to be something similar next year also.
Yeah.
Maybe not as many new guys, but at least there should be some new guys.
Yeah. I
think it's a good idea.
Yeah, really. I really like the idea of always saying that our process was like 2 new guys next year, and probably henceforth as much as possible, to get other people invested in want to play competitive Warhammer in Denmark. And there are a lot of good players, so it's not like, as I said, I'm not sure of being on the team because there's a lot of good players in Denmark, and I played a lot of them, and I know that they're at the same level as me, so that's not really the discussion. It's more like, how are we building the team, and we're placing 2 new guys and some newer ETC players, and then a bunch of veterans, because I know that they're just good. I trained with some of the other guys from the team, and you could really feel that people who played ETC 5 times, they have something I not always have. They have this eye for the breaking point in the opponent's army. They know where to strike the right time, and this breaking point is something I'm starting to learn about. But if you see the right place in an army, you can sometimes just tilt an army with one little unit just doing the right thing, and they're good at that. That's a really good practice up to ETC too, because I've had not played those guys and challenged them in games up until the ETC. I would definitely have lost a lot of games at the ETC, because there's experienced players just have another way of seeing the game sometimes. Just having this one round where everything is just escalating and not fighting the entire game round, as I tend to do.
You talk about want to go play the singles, and I would say to people, come down and just look at it.
Yeah.
It's fun. This year I was only looking. I'm not playing, coaching or anything. I had been done all the other ECs.
Yeah.
This year I was just going around, having a blast, taking pictures and doing some interviews and stuff. And hopefully I will do that next year also.
Yeah.
I just enjoy the company down there.
Yeah, definitely. It was also cool that you were down there, because every time I had a bad game, I could go and cry a little bit. And you're like, oh yeah, that's bad for you. But it was nice just, having other people down there. And I was like, well, actually, I want to go around and talk to people more, because even though I was on the team, I could really feel that people were having fun around us. There was a bunch of other Danish guys down there, and we had a lot of fun. And one did all the photos for the Facebook page, and in the games we were like, well, this game is going good and this going bad, so people at home could follow us. And it was pretty funny, and it was really nice to have people around the team, and I really got the feeling that they enjoyed it too.
Yeah, they feel part of the team.
Yeah, definitely. So, we really enjoyed having those extra people down there. It was very, it was awesome. And also at the evening when we were out eating and talking, it was so nice being a group, just all loving the same hobby.
I remember our player Müllbach, our Tomb King player, years ago. In Germany, he went with us down there just to look also.
Yeah.
And he said like, "Oh, it was so great! You felt like part of the team." And now he is part of the team. Now he is one of the better players in the team, probably.
Yeah, he's very good. He has this knack of finding weird things also. So, but yeah, like I said, this being a part of it down there can later get you on the team, especially in Denmark, because we also focus on guys on the team have to be people you can be with, talk to, enjoy. We still want to be competitive and good, but we still want people to behave. So that's part of picking the team.
It's part of this, and those social aspects.
Yeah.
Like people to be social.
Yeah, we expect people to be polite and fun, and of course you can discuss. That's the way the game is. But we expect when the day is at an end, people are nice and having a blast together.
Here at last, do you have anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'll just say thanks to all my opponents at ETC. I really had a blast, and hope you did too.
Thank you for coming to my place and giving me an interview about your experience at ETC.
Yeah, and thanks for having me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.